people.
Yes, class, we're going to be talking about the one that started the Disney sequel trend over the years. The one that every online critic that has been bashed on this and crucified with a passion. And I'm going to be joining the bandwagon of bashing this monstrosity. What is the summary of this monstrosity of a sequel, you may ask? Well, let's talk about it, shall we? So the so-called movie begins where a group of thieves return from a raid to a secret cave facility where they gloat of their recent raiding. This could give a certain vibe that this could be a potential sequel where the thieves may be part of a cult that supports a certain villain fighting him and making plans to take over Agrabah.
Well, it only looked expensive.
I stand fucking corrected. Yes, class, we get introduced to the dumbest character named Abysmal, voiced by Jason Alexander.
Is this a haul or what? My surly band of desert skunks.
Oh my god, I want to put this fucker in a vice and fucking smash his head like a fucking grapefruit. Then of course Aladdin arrives and takes the thieves' loot and hightails it the fuck out of there, and the scene changes to Iago, voiced by the late Gilbert Gottfried, and Jafar, voiced by Jonathan Freeman, escaping the Cave of Wonders, where Jafar, being an impatient prick, tells Iago to set him free, where Iago puts his talons down.
You know something? You're nothing without me. What? Who comes up with all the good ideas? Me! Who does all the work? Me!
If it weren't for me, you'd still be in a cage at the bazaar, squawking, Polly wants a cracker!
That's it! I've had it! I hate to be dramatic, but it's time for me to fly the coop!
Oh my god, Disney, why did you make Iago sane? It's bad enough that Iago has that annoying personality, but yet it works in the first film. But what made you think that it was smart to make him have a song? I want to clarify, I have nothing against Gilbert Gottfried. He is an excellent actor as well as a comedian. He has a funny energy and I still love his aristocrats joke even to this day. But a singer, he is not. And this is cringe of a song proves that theory. Iago finds out Aladdin lives in the palace and plans to get back into the palace and get back to their good graces.
I gotta get back into the palace! Back into power!
How the fuck does that work for a bird? You know what? Let's just continue before I lose a brain cell. So Aladdin confronts Iago and they bump into Abysmal and his goons. Iago saves Aladdin, making Aladdin owe a life debt. And Aladdin decides to hide Iago till he talks to Jasmine and the Sultan about what happened. Gee, that's not gonna bite him in the ass. Then we get introduced by the Genie, who returns from seeing the world.
He's big! He's blue! He's back!
Oh yeah, he's voiced by the dude who played Homer Simpson. The reason why is because Robin Williams had a fallout with Disney for them going back in their agreement they made when Aladdin was in production, which explains why someone else did the voice. I get the actor's trying, but he's not the Genie. Whatever, I guess. Then we see Abysmal find Jafar's lab and make an alliance with Jafar to get revenge on Aladdin. And we see the dinner scene where the Sultan offers Aladdin a job as his new vizier. Then Iago invaded the dinner scene and boy, did Aladdin get grilled hard by Jasmine. Told you it would bite you in the ass. Then Iago decides to help the two to make up, which he sings.
Forget about that guy. Forget about the way you fell into his eyes.
Oh god, not another song and a love song no less. I already explained this in my top 5 worst Disney songs where I pointed out that this is a terrible song and it is sung by Gilbert Gottfried. Like I said, I had nothing wrong with the guy, but he is not a singer, and the fact that the song is Iago squawking about love is not only laughable, but it's full of cringe at the same time. Whatever, I guess. Then Abysmal and Jafar confront Iago on luring Aladdin to a trap, making Iago feel guilty and conflicted with himself. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this entire so-called movie is about Iago's redemption arc.
What?
Look, I have no issue with making a certain character go on a redemption arc, but the plot of it has to be executed correctly and flawlessly and make it work with the story. Unfortunately, this was not handled right, and the reason why the movie was solely focused on Iago's redemption arc is because one of the directors, Tad Stone, stated in an interview, I said I want the parrot in there, but he was trapped in the lamp at the end of the Aladdin movie, so we came up with the story of how he got out and ended up with Aladdin. Look, I get if you like a character, but this is not the correct way of handling character growth, let alone a redemption arc of said character. This even shouldn't be made into a plot in the first place because it doesn't work. Oh god, this is literally starting to piss me off, but let's just get this over with. So Aladdin falls to the trap, returns to Agrabah, and gets accused of murdering the Sultan even though he is alive and imprisoned and was sentenced to be beheaded at dawn. So Iago frees Genie and everyone else where they plan to destroy Jafar, where Genie reveals that they need to destroy his lamp to destroy Jafar. Okay, I could be wrong in Islamic mythology on jinn, but to kill a jinn, you need to destroy a thing they're possessed in, such as a ring, a medallion, a bottle, and of course an oil lamp. Now, in regards to killing regular free jinn, I'm not sure about that. If anyone who is known about that lore about the jinn in Islamic mythology, please comment below about that.
Wait a minute, I have to ask something. If that's the case to destroy a genie by destroying their lamp, how come Genie never mentioned this in the first movie? That could have been useful information in case he came back with a vengeance. Why did they not point that out in the first place? If you ask me, this is terrible writing on Disney's part.
Ain't that the truth, Max? Ain't that the truth? So the heroes try to get the lamp, but it backfires as Jafar goes all out and tries to kill Aladdin by opening a pit of magma. Stop the video. Now I'm a little bit pissed off. Jafar just opened a pit of lava. Molten rock. Molten rock has a temperature of over 1200 to 2200 degrees Fahrenheit. That is extremely hot, meaning if anything is close to it, will burst into flames in seconds. Even if by some miracle, if you do not get combusted into flames before you touch the surface of it, it is literally hard rock. Your bones will be crushed on impact and you get barbecued afterwards. So this makes no sense. Aladdin should be like this. That is scientific fact. This scene makes no freaking sense whatsoever. Did Tad Stones and the rest of the 8 writers of this mockery of a sequel not do their homework on how molten magma and how it's scientifically inaccurate in the scene and how it makes no sense? I mean, why? Just why? I don't want to hear in the comments, this is just cartoon. No, despite it being a cartoon, it should have had a common scientific facts of how lava works. You know what? I'm starting to lose my patience right now, so I just need to end the summary and give my final thoughts on this piece of shit of a movie. Iago destroys a lamp, Genie dies, Aladdin refuses the job as a vizier, claiming he wants to see the world, Iago loses his shit, and that's the end of this pilot episode.
Wait, what? What do you mean that this is a 2-part pilot episode, Ben? What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that this movie was technically a 2-part pilot episode for the Aladdin series?
Come again.
Let me explain. With its animated television division, Disney was successful with its afternoon cartoons like Gummy Bears, DuckTales, and Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, and the Little Mermaid series. So Disney decided to make an Aladdin series and made a 2-part pilot episode to promote the series. But during the time, the director suggested instead of making it into a 2-part pilot episode and air it on television like anyone with a common sense, they decided to have the idea to place it into direct home video. Now, to put a TV show or movie to direct to video has its hit or miss moments. Unfortunately, the so-called movie had a pure direct miss, and boy did the critics at the time bash this movie, and justifiably so. I mean, look at the Rotten Tomato score. Yeah, it's that terrible, but looking back at the ending of this terrible movie, you can now understand what Aladdin's comment on "I want to see the world" meant, because this is technically supposed to be a 2-pilot episode for the series, where Aladdin does go out and not just beyond the borders of Agrabah, but other places around the world in the series, where he faces trials and faces many villains. I might review the series itself in the future, but we'll see what the future holds, class. So, what are my thoughts in this sequel movie? What the hell do you think? The movie is basically an attempt to make a sequel of a great successful movie. It had a terrible plot, terrible animation, which by the way, the animation was done by both Disney Television Animation Television Australia, as well as Disney Animation Television Japan, which makes sense of the major animation errors and the fact that this was technically supposed to be a 2-pilot episode, not a movie. And terrible writing of a redemption arc of Iago was completely unnecessary, and god-awful songs that makes you want to bash your head on the wall, all except for Jafar's villain song You're Only Second Rate, which that's the only good song in the sequel. It was really that good that even a content creator, Jonathan Young, made a metal cover dub version of the song. I highly recommend you check that video out, class, it's pretty fucking dope. I understand why critics both then and now, including myself, hate this sequel. It's a total slap in the face of the first Aladdin movie, and it makes you want to question your sanity. It makes you want to bash your head on the wall over the freaking lava pit scene with its scientific now. Okay, sorry, I know I keep going back on that scene. I just really despise that scene. If you want to have your own take in the sequel, go for it. It's available on Disney+, but I must warn you to be prepared to bash your head on the wall and get very angry of its terrible plot, terrible writing, terrible unnecessary character redemption arcs, and major scientific inaccuracies scenes like the lava. You know what, just be warned. That's all I have to say. I give Return of Jafar a 2.5 out of 5. Oh, sweet Celestia, I really lost my sanity reviewing that. Max, what did you do to the television set?
I didn't do anything. Why do you always assume it's me?
What the hell?
Greetings, Ben. Or should I call you Jedi Griffin Pictures now?
Who the fuck are you and how did you hack into my television set?
That's not important. I'm here to make a proposition for you. I have some information that I know you would love to receive.
Yeah, no thanks. I'd rather not take anything from some shady dude on my television screen, so kindly piss off.
What if I told you I know where you could get information about the Force that resides in Equestria so you can complete your training, young Jedi?
How did you...
So you want to hear my proposal?
What do you want?
You see, I've been watching you for quite some time, especially your review and analysis videos, and I want to make this thrilling for me. You have to review or analyze certain movies or cartoons or even anime that I suggest to you at every end of said video for the next 3 months. I will tell you what to review or analyze next.
Oh, 3 months? Okay. Well, and?
Since you recently finished discussing a Disney sequel, I think it's fitting you review the next Disney sequel, and I have just one sequel in mind for you to review next.
No, please not that. Anything but that. Not the unnecessary sequel to the most underrated Disney gem of my boy. Anything but that, please.
Oh yes, that. Oh, and by the way, if you refuse, I will reveal to everyone in Equestria of who and what you are, Jedi. And if I'm not mistaken, some places despise the Jedi, like the dragons, or even your hometown of Griffinstone, or perhaps Mount Eris, where your family resides.
Have it your way, asshole. I'll do it.
Excellent, young Jedi. And I might be dropping by now and again and monitor your reviews to see if it fits to my satisfaction. And who knows, hopefully you get some collabs for these certain reviews. We'll be seeing you soon, boy.
What the hell just happened, Ben?
What the hell did I just get myself into?